Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a kind of AI that might just be the next big thing in finance, reinforcement learning. So, we've all seen the news, right? AI, like AlphaGo, just crushing the world's best players at some of the most complex games ever invented. And it really makes you wonder, if an AI can master a game with more moves than there are atoms in the universe, what about an even bigger arena? Could it master the financial markets? Okay, so to get our heads around that, we first need to look at the specific type of AI that made AlphaGo so dominant. It's all about something called reinforcement learning. So what is reinforcement learning, or RL for short? Well, at its heart, it's all about learning from consequences. You have an AI, we call it an agent, that learns how to make decisions by, just doing things. It performs an action, sees what the result is, and then tries to figure out how to get the best possible reward over time. And what's really cool is that this whole process is super intuitive. It's basically just trial and error, but on a massive computerized scale. The agent tries something, sees what happens, gets some feedback, either a reward for doing well or a penalty for messing up, and then it tweaks its strategy. It's constantly updating its approach to get better rewards next time. Sound familiar? It's pretty much how we all learn. That sounds simple enough, right? But to really get it, we need to look at the building blocks of this learning process. It's called the agent environment loop. So first, you've got the agent. Think of this as the AI itself. It's the learner, it's the one making the decisions. This is the brain of the operation that we're trying to train. Now, this agent isn't just floating in space. It operates inside an environment. For AlphaGo, that environment was the Go board. For a self-driving car, it's the road and all the traffic. And for what we're talking about, well, the environment is the financial market. So you see how this creates this constant feedback loop, right? The agent looks at the current state of things, say the market. It decides to take an action, like buying or selling. The environment, the market, reacts. That creates a whole new state. Then the agent gets a reward or a penalty. And this cycle just repeats over and over and over, millions of times, letting the agent get smarter and smarter. And here is the absolute key to all of this. The agent isn't just trying to score a quick point. Its real goal is to get the biggest total reward over the long haul. That means it might actually choose to take a small hit right now if it thinks that move will lead to a massive payoff later on. It's playing the long game. We call this a long-term greedy strategy. This whole idea of making sacrifices for a bigger win down the road, it sounds a heck of a lot like playing a game, doesn't it? Like chess or Go. So is trading really just a big, complicated game? Well, when you actually put them side by side, the comparison is pretty powerful. In Go, the goal is to get the most territory. In trading, maximize profit. Simple enough. Both have rules, right? In Go, you can only place stones in legal spots. In trading, you have the mechanics of the market, the order book. And the actions you can take are pretty limited. You can place a stone, or you can buy, sell, or hold. But the real kicker is that in both, winning is all about that long-term, forward-thinking strategy. Okay, so if the market is the game board, how do we actually build the player? How do we design an AI trader? All right, first things first, we have to define the state. This is basically everything the AI gets to see at any given moment to make its call. And it's not just the current price. We're talking about way more stuff, like market volatility, how many buy and sell orders are out there, what's already in its own portfolio, and even what the transaction costs might be. It's the AI's entire picture of the world. Then we need to define the action space. This is just the set of moves the AI is allowed to make. And for trading, it's usually pretty straightforward. Buy some shares, sell some shares, or just sit tight and hold. That's it. But this leads to maybe the most important question of all. The AI learns from getting rewards. So how do we tell it if it's actually doing a good job? What is a good move in something as messy as finance? This is where things get really smart. See, if you just reward the AI for pure profit, it might start making insanely risky bets. So instead, we design a reward function that's more nuanced. It rewards profit, sure, but it also penalizes the agent for taking on too much risk. Basically, we teach it to hunt for the best risk-adjusted returns, not just the biggest jackpot. It's about being smart, not just greedy. So let's recap. We have our agent, we have the environment, and we have a smart reward function. That brings us all the way back to where we started. Can an AI built like this actually learn to be a top-tier trader? To put it another way, can we just set an AI loose, Give it the rules, tell it to balance profit and risk, and then let it figure out a winning strategy all by itself? A strategy that's dynamic and even accounts for real-world stuff like transaction costs. And the evidence so far seems to point to, yeah, it can. It turns out reinforcement learning is a fantastic tool for this exact problem. It's built for discovering really complex strategies in dynamic places like the market, where you know the rules of the game, but you have no idea what's going to happen next. This really points to a massive shift in how we think about quantitative finance. The future might not be about people trying to code up the perfect trading strategy. Instead, the job will be to design the systems that can learn the strategies for us. It becomes about creating the best agent, the best environment, and the smartest rewards, and then letting the AI find new ways to win that we might have never even thought of.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. This is a field that's moving at an absolutely incredible pace.
Hey, if you found this insightful, do us a favor and hit that like button, share it with a friend, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the topics that are shaping our future. Thanks so much for watching.